As a British citizen currently going through the process of the Windrush Compensation Scheme, I thought I would be in a good position to explain briefly the events leading up to the scandal, as well as the new scandal born out of entrusting the Home Office to correct their mistakes and compensate the victims fairly, justly, and quickly. After the Second World War, the British government invited thousands of British citizens living in the colonies to move to the United Kingdom to help rebuild it. Now, as they were British citizens travelling within Britain, the border checks were minimal. The landing cards, or registry slips as they were often referred to, were the only documentation that could prove a person's date of entry into the UK. In June 2009, the UK Border Agency, in collaboration with the UK Home Office, authorised the destruction of these landing cards. They began destroying the cards in 2010. In May 2012, the British government introduced the hostile environment. The hostile environment demanded that every person in the United Kingdom prove they had the lawful right to remain. Until this had been proven, the person could not work, be housed, or claim any benefits. If, as a member of the Windrush generation, you hadn't already obtained a British passport, many of whom had not, because they viewed it as an unnecessary expense when they did not plan on travelling, your only method of proving you had been resident before the 1971 Immigration Act was to present your landing card. As stated earlier, the government was fully aware that the landing cards had been destroyed 2 years earlier, and therefore it would be impossible for the Windrush generation to source them. Once the public found out about the destruction of the landing cards, there was an outcry. Although for many in the Windrush community, it caused a sense of malice or spite on behalf of the UK government and the Home Office. They had been directing people to find proof they had knowingly destroyed years earlier. In 2017, the treatment of the Windrush generation came to the forefront after it was shown that many were being incorrectly and unlawfully detained. And in some cases, they were even deported under this flawed system. This was all going on years after the government was made aware of the problem. Under the weight of public pressure, the Windrush Compensation Scheme was launched in April 2019. It was launched with the goal of ensuring that those affected members of the Windrush generation received payments for the impact on their lives. When the scheme was launched, it was expected to pay out between £200 and £500 million. £200 million was ring-fenced by the government to cover compensation payments. By May 2020, 1 year after the scheme's launch, just £360,000 had been distributed, with the average payment being £4,400 once adjusted for the single claimant who was awarded over £100,000. In November 2020, the UK government, specifically the UK Home Office, continues to harp on about how much they've done to right the wrongs. But as a claimant myself, I know it's just lip service. The scheme has been set up to fail the victims as soon as they put the perpetrators in charge of arbitrating and awarding the compensation for their own mistakes. It erodes trust to be forced to work with the very organisation that ruined your life. They're tasked with calculating how significant, and therefore how much, the suffering caused is worth. Until the compensation scheme is administered externally and independently from the Home Office, the failings will continue to occur and the divisions it causes will continue to grow. This is a non-partisan issue. So until MPs, both Labour, Conservative, Green, whatever, until they all unite to fix this issue is going to continue to roll on, rumble on, causing more pain and suffering for those it affects. This isn't just an issue for foreigners or people you see as non-British. Don't forget, these Windrush citizens were British. They've come from British colonies and they've moved to the United Kingdom. So they were always British, and yet this is how they're treated by their government. Even if you want to look at it in a selfish manner, the whole idea that your government can remove your citizenship arbitrarily, whether it be by mistake, as they're claiming, or intentionally, should be something that worries everyone, and everyone should be trying their hardest to rectify this issue, solve it for the people that are still suffering from difficulty proving their citizenship. And beyond that, the Windrush payments need to be meaningful, significant, and justified for the pain and suffering caused by the UK Home Office and the UK government.